everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michaela and this is Evergreen Inks. Today we're going to talk about how I thought about my 2025 planner lineup, my process for deciding on planners and journals for the year, and then what I ended up picking. I don't plan on going in depth on the journals and planners that I picked in this video. If I have my act together following this video and in the new year, I will do a video per notebook / planner. But I promised that last year as well and then never followed through. So that is a plan, that is a hope, but that's not necessarily, I didn't do it last year. So we're kind of, if pattern follows. So let's just get going. So to start, I just grabbed my notebook. I decided to kind of ask myself some questions, and then long form journal out those answers was the first step that I did. And the questions are not original to me. My friend Anne, I think she's Pen and Plans on Instagram, but I'll make sure to link her in the description. She came up with these questions for herself. Yeah, Pen and Plans. Her name's Anne. She calls it her organization system outline, and she asks herself when she starts a new system, these 4 questions. The first one is functional. Am I actively able to plan and track what I need to do and when to do it? Practical. Is this a system easy to maintain or is it a chore? Economical. Am I able to reasonably replenish, update the hardware associated with this system? And what is my definition of reasonable? Creative. Is there a way to personalize without becoming distracted from the purpose or objective of this system? And I thought those were really simple but profound questions. So when she posted them for the first time a couple of years ago now, I just wrote them down. So that was the mindset that I went into when answering these questions in my notebook. Basically, my definition of what would make a good system for me in 2025 is my current system sustainable? And sustainable meaning in terms of time, energy, lifestyle, flexibility, and creativity. And then I wrote down the definition of sustainable here just to give myself a reminder. And then I basically went in time. Like, is my current 2024 system, pocket rings, field notes notebook, memory planner, or memory journal, is it sustainable? And I basically wrote out all of those questions. And the next thing that I did is, what will I do if it does not address, like the system does not address everything I need it to, but I can't prepare and know that ahead of time. So if something changes in the new year, let's say, how am I going to address that change without completely throwing out the baby with the bathwater, as they say, and ditching the entire planner system for something completely new, because that's a part of sustainability as well. And then I decided that I need to have a process or a system of questions to ask myself when something like that happens. And then I asked myself a last question of, in what way is my system not currently sustainable? Or how can I see issues now for the new year, and how am I going to address it? And already one of them happened. The last time I used the Miyakara, it didn't work in my travel purses because it was too bulky. And I recently changed purses, as you saw in my latest video. And basically I had to move covers when I wanted to switch back purses again. But I already had a cover that would work, and I was able to move into that with very little heartburn. And that's an example. And then after I asked myself those questions and kind of thought about that, I also asked myself what my roles are for 2025. Kind of in, so I know, I don't remember who it was originally, but I know it comes up in the Atomic Habits. It's not the first place that I saw this. I saw a fellow planner person do this on her YouTube videos a couple of years ago. She basically listed out all of the roles or the things that she identifies with as like an identity of hers, and what plans or planner things she may need based on those roles. So I kind of fleshed those out, and then I wrote them out again here, and then used them as a checklist for the kind of notebooks that I wanted to keep in my system. And then after I did that, I kind of knew what my system was going to look like for 2025. And then what I'm doing now to set up for my pocket rings for 2025 is I listed out all of the inserts that I have in my 2024 system. And then I'm basically doing do I want to keep it? Do I want to remove it? Is it the same type of insert? So for example, like my 2024 or my 2025 monthlies are technically a different shop, let's say, than my 2024 ones. So I just mark that here. Like, am I switching to a new, sorry, we're quasi-adopting a cat. And so she is behind me making noise. She's our neighbor's and mostly an outdoor cat, but that's a whole story. Yeah, so if I switched store, like planner shops from where the insert was from, I just note it. And then I'll like check it off or cross it off when I've put it in my into my 2025 system, because I actually haven't done any 2025 setup in my pocket rings yet. And then I do have a section for things that I want to add to my 2025 pocket rings. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head when I was doing this originally, but I do have that, and I will be thinking through that for a couple more days as I'm setting up my planner. So that's what I did to prep for 2025. It took a lot longer than it took to explain it, I guess. And I'll make sure that I leave all the questions that I asked myself in the description box below as well, in case you're more of a visual learner than auditory. I know I went through that kind of quickly. But so pocket rings is staying for 2025. If I do decide to switch sizes, I do have all the stuff that I need to go into A6 rings. So I tentatively, for my main planner, am open to jumping between pocket rings and A6 rings through the year. I do want to stay in pocket rings. It is the most functional right now. A6 is perfectly functional, but I just mean in terms of size and portability. And I'm still able to get almost everything that I need in here that I would in A6 anyway. So my hope is pocket rings for 2025, but I am okay switching to A6 because I already have everything I need for A6. There would be no monetary cost to switching, which is like my biggest, I'm not going to say red flag, but that's my biggest form of sustainability is cost. Time as well, like time to set up and change between systems. I don't want to spend too much time changing systems because that's not where I get my enjoyment out of a hobby. I get my enjoyment out of the hobby in other ways. So switching doesn't generally bring me any joy anyway. So yes, pocket rings for 2025. I do plan on keeping the field notes notebook. I do have a couple more field notes to fill in. I have a couple passport TN inserts that are blank that I'll probably fill in as well. Yes, after all of those are finished, and I don't know if I talked about this on a video. I think I like recorded a video and never posted it because I didn't like the way that it was phrased. But basically, one of my goals is using up what I have as well. And so I have a lots of little notebooks, pocket size, passport size, that kind of thing, that I could use up with this purpose. But I have plenty of like standard TN size notebooks and like A6 notebooks that I could use as well. The only issues with those is they don't fit in whatever pocket cover I'm using. And I figured out this week that I either have to carry more books around with me, or the smallness of this notebook has to be a factor in like what notebook I choose. So I want to use up all of my standard TN inserts. I want to use up like all of the extra notebooks that I have lying around, but portability of even the Field Notes notebook is really important to me too, which I didn't know explicitly until this week. So we're going to see how that goes. One of the things that I did note in my little journaling time with myself was that Field Notes is a very budget-friendly, sustainable upkeep in terms of like rebuying inserts, multiple inserts every year. I think it's like $12 to $15 for 3 of them. And you can get them on Field Notes. You can buy them on most other planner shop, like with Jet Pens and stuff. You can buy them on Amazon. So they are easily accessible and they are pretty cheap in comparison to the other planner community notebooks. So I will, those are an okay option, even if I decide that I'm not going to finish filling in larger notebooks, because the portability is important to me. Yeah, so I've determined that I'm trying to set my own boundaries when it comes to purchasing things. And I've determined that buying more Field Notes notebooks as the year progresses and as I fill them up is an okay use of my money. So pocket rings and Field Notes notebook. The next thing that I had was a home binder on my list. I don't have that with me because our home binder is actually still packed away in one of the boxes in either my office or my husband's. But basically it'd be like an extension planner is the terminology of this. This is mostly like my personal stuff and stuff that needs to be with me at all times, but things like home projects and home contacts and like our insurance information, like all of that can mostly stay home. And that's what would go into this binder. I do already have a A5 VDS ring binder. I think it's shown up in other videos, namely the ring size comparison video that I had. And it's always meant to be a home binder. I bought it when we got married, but now that we have a home that we manage, it is more important to me now to get that fully set up. So that might take some money in terms of like setting up, but I'm gonna try and do that as budget friendly as well. But it's also gonna last us a long time. Like I want that to be our family home binder, so I'm okay spending a little bit of money on that. The next one we had was a memory journal, my 5-year memory journal. It's just the 5-year from Sterling Ink. The 5-year diary. I did get it in forest green. I got it last year for 2024, but then never started it. So I am rededicating myself to starting this planner or this journal. So that's exciting. the next one I have is another memory journal, and it's the one that's taking the place of the A6 Hobonichi Supplemental Weekly. This is the undated sterling ink vertical common planner in A5. So I'm going to do vertical memory journaling, stickers, ephemera, everything, just like scrapbook style, like, I'm not going to say like junk journaling style, but cause I love that vibe, but that's not, it's like ephemera scrapbooking type. And I already started setting it up a little bit. So like you can see I've got some of my Coffee Monsters Co. things set up in here. I did put my tabs, and it's a half year, so I'm doing half year in one book. The one thing about this, and I started doing this, was I was also setting this up so that the dailies were basically this notebook in the back of this, and so I would have a reason to use the dailies. And maybe I'll do a combination of these two notebooks. I haven't yet decided because I really like how much room I have in here, especially when I'm like researching things or stuff like that. But I still want this notebook on me in case I feel like I need to like journal stuff out and I don't have this with me, because this is A5 and this is not necessarily the most portable size. So when I bought this, I fully intended this to be like a replacement of both of the two notebooks that were in my 3-book system. Because this one I'll likely finish by the end of December. Maybe not now, because I was attempting to use this, but I only have like a few more pages to use. And these pages go pretty quickly. But it's also the 21st that I'm recording this video, so we'll see. There's no, like, I don't have to finish this by the new year, but that was a goal. So we'll see what happens with this, but I can see these, it's called daily, but the undated like note pages in the back being abandoned. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I did buy it for the weeklies, so we shall see. It might not be something that I continue next year. Maybe I find a different, if this ends up working for everything but the back pages, maybe I do something different next year. But I already purchased it. I've already started using it. This is what I'll be using for like my creative memory keeping for 2025. Yeah. Don't have a cover for it yet. I am, of course, looking for a Gillio green Appunto, but I'm also trying to be content with what I have / what I'm able to find. And if I don't find one, I'm going to be making peace with that. I know it's silly, but I do feel like, oh, it'd be so much more enjoyable in like my favorite leather, but I don't need it. After that, I do have the last two things are my writing stuff. So this is a standard tan, it's standard tan olive. Inside I have a cut down Stalogy and a few other notebooks, and I am writing my novel in this notebook, as you can see. And I'm just free handwriting, slowly, a little bit at a time, whenever I have the chance. Yeah, so that's what this notebook is for. And then this notebook, or this binder, should be kind of familiar. This is a Gillio Compagna medium XL, I think. And I have my like plotting and world building notes and stuff like that in here. It's not finished. It's a work in progress. All of my planners I feel like are work in progresses. if that's a phrase. But yeah, that's that. And so that's my like tentative planner lineup for the year is writing, like world building, so like my writing notebooks, my memory journals, and then my planner and like personal journal, I guess I'm gonna call. And that's what I have for 2025. And I will go in depth more into each in the coming videos, especially because like these two aren't set up very well. And so there's not much to show. This one is still, like I'm still in all of my 2024 inserts, and I'll just be doing my 2025 inserts when I set up for January. And that's how I normally do that. So maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. And then these, there's not much to show with these, but I'll do a video probably on these combined as well. So yeah, that's my 2025 system and how I just settled on it. I don't know if that was boring or interesting, but there you go. For archiving and memory's sake, this is what I plan on going into 2025 with. Oh, and including the A5 home binder, which I will do a video on as I'm setting it up and what I keep in it as well. And let me know if you have any questions. With that, I will let you guys go. I hope you have a great day and a great holiday. This will post after the holidays, but I hope you guys had a great holiday. And I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.